Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we will try dictionaries in Python by simply using inventory management and receipt generation in Python. First, we need to generate a dictionary. For that purpose, we will use a JSON file in order to set up our inventory. We first need dictionary, so we make a registry and we name it as repository. So in this supermarket items, we need to have an object, so we need to have a name. Name could be any attributes like apple, and we need to have quantity of that particular item. For instance, let's say in this supermarket we do have 10 kilogram of apple, and we need to have price per item, and let's set the price for 90 cents. So in order to have variety of items, we will copy and paste these items, and we could simply change the item name, item quantity, and item price. So let's say we do have orange and the quantity will change, and let's change the price to 190. And then let's say we do have lemon, and let's update quantity to 15. Let's update the number of item price tag, and let's say we do have another item as well, and that would be banana, and let's change the quantity and price as well. So we can add different items, or even during we could update it. Now we need to define purchase item, and let's say we return item name. We will add a comment, and we say that the shopper selects item and returns the price. So in order to shopper select the item and returns price, we will set the while to true. While our condition runs, this condition will be set to true. Now we need to try the quantity and purchased. So each customer could purchase a quantity, and we set it as integer, and we will request the user to put input. So we will ask the user to how many of that particular item you need to purchase. How many of item, and let's set it as item name what you like to purchase. So this is as an input, and we will save the input in quantity purchased. Now if the quantity purchased is more than 0 and also less or equal than quantity of item that we do have in repository, so item quantity number, in that case if the quantity, in that case we will deduct the amount that have been purchased from the amount that we do have in our repository. So, and we will have a quantity of item that has been purchased, and each item has price tag, and we will multiply that particular item with the price of the item, and we will return it when the function is called. On the other hand, else if this condition has not been satisfied, we could send a message and say sorry, we have we do not have enough amount in our repository, and we set the item, and we need name of the item and quantity of item. So we have item quantity and item name in a stock. And the next thing that we need to do is checking for the value error. If under any circumstances we get value error, we will print out to the user that please enter correct value. By this mean, we could avoid occurring of or getting invalid numbers as an input. Now that we have our inputs, we need to define a new function to generate receipts. So we will define generate receipt, and this function, the generate receipt function, we will get the information from the shopper input, and we will generate a receipt accordingly. So what we need to have a total cost, and at the beginning that we do not have any item in our shopping bag, we set it to 0, and we will print the receipt. And we will, since our print contains multiple line, we will use /n, and then we will separate the lines. And now we need to call all items for items in our repository. We will run over each item in dictionary, and we will need to calculate the cost. So we do have a purchase item. The purchase item, as we mentioned earlier, will calculate the cost of each item, and the total cost will be adding the cost of item has been bought with the previous item, which calculates the overall amount of expenses that has been done over item name. And in the receipt, we need to have the item name and, of course, amount of money that we have spent on any particular item. So we will add the cost, and then we need to print out the outcome. So we will print, and we will separate each item from the other by adding dashes, and then we will need to show the user how much they have spent. So we will use print, and the total amount of the total cost has been expensed on each item. And then when the function has been called, we will use the generate receipt in order to call the function. And now it's time to test our function. In order to test it, we will use generate receipt function, and in that case, by hitting and running it, then it will start to test it. We will be asked the user for how many of each item they want to purchase, how many apples they do need, and it will bring up the item name, and it will multiply it by item quantity and show the item name and item, and then it will ask for the other item, and if the item is in the range, it will say that you can purchase this item, otherwise you cannot, and show it's not available, and overly at the end it will say the total number of your purchase will be the summation of each item that you have been purchased, and with summation of the previous number and previous item. Now, thanks for your attention.